Hello, my name is Clotaire Tieno. I am the founder and president of Abarca. It is a pleasure to be with you today again, or this time again, to continue speaking about storytelling. Let me add the projection, the PowerPoint. Today we are going to talk about telling storytelling. Telling storytelling is a short session which is going to give us some tips that we need to understand very well in order to be able to deal with the issue of radicalization. So the content of the session is going to be divided into four or five elements. The first element is context. We are going to talk about the context and driving force to know why preventing xenophobia, the rising of religious and political extremism, rising of terrorism. We also want to know some spot sign of radicalization and social exclusion. It's important to know some narrow alarm that will bring us into the level of curiosity at any moment that can enable us to understand if we are in front or if we are in a situation of, for example, some difficult situation that can lead a young person to radicalization. So we also need to know who do we say that is vulnerable? Who are our vulnerable people? Can we say that everyone is vulnerable? This is the question we should be answered during also this session. Who do we rank as vulnerable? Do we know our youth? Do we know our beneficiary? Do we know them sufficiently? Do we know our kids at home? What can we say about this? Is it true that we really know them? Then another part, we are going to bring some advantage of storytelling, digital telling, storytelling to change the world. And then we will speak a bit about digital story and media literacy in a sense that we will pay your attention. We will make it to pay your attention about some tools that you can use easily to record and to sell your story. So, storytelling. I'm sharing this quote with you from Vera Nazarian. It's an author. You can Google it to see who she is and what she said, what she was saying in her books. I will tell you a secret. All storytellers never die. They just disappear in their own story. The story behind this woman is that she was born in Moscow, so she was half Armenian and half Russian. And she was an American fantasy writer. And the polemic coming from her was when in 2014 she launched a campaign on Indiegogo, a crowdfunding campaign to collect money to support her authors. And then the campaign was cancelled like a few days later. As a result of people were not happy with this. Why? Because in 2008, she launched a similar campaign where she raised almost 19,000 euro to cover her debt, still debt about her authors. But she said this, I will tell you a secret, all storytellers never die. She never died, she disappeared in her own story. Okay, so we take this to speak a bit about context and driving force that can lead young people to get radicalized or to join extremism or terrorism. Many news have been going around newspaper, Let us just take the COVID situation and see what happened. Let us just take the war between Russia and Ukraine to see what's happening around news. But the thing is that we are not going to come back on this today. We are going to be speaking about all this specific context that is like surrounding us. Nothing is far away from us. It's directly connected to us. And I put them in a bullet point or in some like point that we will be speaking a bit about this for like 5 minutes. It is important to know this situation. These words are not new for you. They are not new for me. They are not new for anybody. But this word takes sense when you start digging into it. And sometimes, solution come from problems. There's no solution that you will find somewhere else than inside the problem itself. Let's talk about the economical situation, which is connected with unemployment, which is connected with low opportunities, which is connected with the political situation that is surrounding the world right now, the geopolitical strategy countries are putting in place. But let us take the economy and connect it to unemployment. So we have young people that they don't have work. In Europe nowadays, or in Spain specifically, more than 24% of young people that have working age, are not working. They are unemployed. Why this situation? Or not why this situation? How do we think that this situation, do we not think that this situation can bring young people to join some terrific groups? This is a question we should ask ourselves. Why? Because we are in a society where you need money for everything. This is how they have taught us. You need money to pay your house. If you don't pay, they will kick you out. You need money to pay your electricity bill. You need money for the phone. You need money for everything. Now, let us take a young person, 18, 19 years, that cannot work. He's looking for a job. He has some training, but nobody is recruiting him, or they recruit him and they pay him very few money, or he's under some difficult and bad contract. So the economical situation of this person is very bad, is very low. He's going to look for where he can get better job condition, or somewhere where they can value him. Remember, those people are using storytelling. And they're telling story that will captivate the attention of those people. They will tell them, see, your country cannot pay you any money. See, your country cannot give you decent job. Come here, we will give you a job, and within 1 week, you will earn 2,000 euros. Can you imagine? So we should consider this aspect. And how can we fight this? This is the important. Which kind of story do we use to fight this? Maybe my story. I will tell you my story later. So let us take religion, for example. Why do we get into religion? Or what is the situation of religion within the world? What are they saying about Muslim people? Let us take this. I have a friend. He's now a brother. We are supporting each other. And what he told me, he's Muslim, actually. And when we do project, or when he's at my home, or when I'm at his home, he used to take time, like, I'm going to pray. And then we asked him one day, what is the sense of this? Because people are saying that Muslims are terrorists. He told us, I am Muslim, I am not terrorist. We are brother, you don't have any problem with me. So how do we use the religion to communicate? What do we think about other religion? Do we think that our religion is the best? Let's just continue the story and take religions in Africa. In the Western world, or when Europeans reach Africa, they push Africa to abandon their traditional belief, which is like their religion, and they call it spirituality. They push them to abandon it in favor of Christianism. Yes, many Africans do this today. But does it mean that we should abandon our religion because the other person? Yes, religion influences the world, and this is what we should know, that with religion, they influence the world, they influence the change of mentality, they influence the change of habit, they influence even the change of culture. If you go to Africa today, many people are no more inside the traditional belief. Many Africans are going to church every Sunday. But when you come to Europe, churches are nearly empty. Why? So we should think of this while we are speaking with our young people. And then we shouldn't use religion as to push some people outside, but we should find inside all those religions what is good and what we can tell to people, to these young people, that religion is not something bad. Let's talk about colors, race, racism. Yeah, racism is something that is evident. I've been victim by the color of my skin. But do I have to consider myself as victim? If someone called me black, is it an insult? Maybe for that person it's depreciative, but I'm happy to be black. We should be happy, and we should teach our people that they should be happy with what they are, who they are, and what they have. They should be happy. And then we should find inside some key element that when we shout to them, they will understand and they will get inspired from this, you know. Let's talk, what can we talk again? You can go into social life, the context of social life in Europe. Let's say Europe, I will take Europe, because if I take other context, it is going to be like 2 days speaking. Let us take Europe, the context of Europe, where everybody is behind the wall. This is very difficult. But what I tell my people, or people that are reaching, like coming from Africa, from Latin America, from China, or from Asia to establish in Spain, the first thing I tell them is you should think and have the first goal, which is your social and professional integration. It should be the first line goal. Then, while thinking of social and professional integration, what do you think you could do first? Learning the language, getting some training, some vocational training. You don't need to go to university, because here you can work in any aspect without even necessarily having a university degree. Sometimes it's even useless in this society. But we should focus on this social and professional integration. How do you do that? My story is what I did when I reached Spain, looking for NGOs where you can do volunteering. Some group in within your community. Go to your community and tell them, I want to volunteer for you. I want to do something for the organization. Yes, I was doing this. And today I am happy because I'm integrated to this society. I go to the gym. I have my brothers and sisters from the gym. So they open me their door. I open them my door. This is social integration. And when you do this, if the social part, you can speak the language and you can integrate yourself within the community, then you can have better life. And then door that seems to be closed, you will see that this door can be open by our way of doing things. It's not going to be open like in our context in Africa, but it will be open somehow. And you can go to vacation, you can go for a weekend, you can go organize barbecue, picnic with those people, invite them, teach them, show them your culture, make them tasting your food. And this will be nice. Very, 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 very nice. So, telling story, this is my quote. Remember that those people use storytelling and media literacy to capture their mind. Whose mind? Mind and body. Those beneficiaries you're trying to get out of this, to get out of trouble. Why shouldn't we use also this storytelling and media literacy to bring them back and avoid them to fail into the trap? So we use the same storytelling, but we use the positive storytelling to bring those young people, those beneficiaries, our beneficiary, to understand where we are leading or where we want them to lead to. So let us speak about some signs. You know, we are in a society that is in constant change, and when we wake up in the morning, we don't even realize the day has gone. We are already at night and we are preparing for the next day. It's the same thing. When you wake up in the morning, the young people, they are changing. Youth are like moving fast. They are growing so fast. My daughter is growing so fast. My cousins are growing so fast. My nephew are growing so fast. Very fast that today, this morning, I was realizing that, yes, if they are growing means that I'm getting age, I'm getting old. This is something that we should take into consideration. and start observing the society, and then try to detect some signs that show us that this young person might be into trouble and maybe doesn't know how to go out of this. I was speaking with a friend this morning, early in the morning. He's a friend in Cameroon, that a volunteer of the association in Cameroon. And she used to communicate a lot. And she's going inside a lot of trouble recently, but she's not communicating. So I was telling her, what is going on with you? Tell me what is going on, because I don't hear from you. I speak to you, but you don't reply to me. And we were speaking. And then I was telling her, when you keep away with your problem, you're not solving it. Counting, saying it, sharing it with someone is helping you to remove part of the problem, because then you free a bit yourself. And then that person can help you to find a solution. Generally, at the very difficult moment, unexpected moment, you get the solution. And I was telling her, for example, I get mad of my wife when I come back home or when I am in a situation, because when I have a problem, a situation, I need to tell it to someone. I need someone to listen to me. And then when I get mad of my wife, because sometimes when I try to explain her or to tell her something, she's like, I cannot listen to you now. Please wait later. I said, but this cannot wait. If I'm coming to you, it's because I want to free myself, because I cannot support anymore. So I was telling her this. This is a very big trap, because then when it's getting bad, it is already maybe late. Maybe that young person close to us is already gone. It's already gone. And today they have a lot of channels to attach those young people. But we should be able to detect when the young people are starting, like our kid is starting isolating himself from the family, from friends. He doesn't want to go out. He just wants to stay at home. Then we should start watching this. But the idea of sharing with you this spotting signs, the idea is for you to do things as social educator, as youth worker, as leader, as trainer, as facilitator, as parents, as elder. The idea is for you to understand that this shouldn't happen. We should create an environment close to us, closer to our family, in such a way that people will feel comfortable sharing their feelings. Something that is really important in these things, in this life, and people get to create distance regarding the family sometimes, is because we don't give the possibility to our kids, our young people, our youngest, to express their feeling. We don't tell them that expressing your feeling is a right. You have the right to express your feeling. Then is how you express your feeling that might have a problem. I tell my daughter this every day. You can cry. You can say that you're sad. You can say that you're angry. Let's say at 1.5 years, she knew already. At close to 2 years, she knew already how to express her feeling, or with color, or with faces, like I'm hungry, I'm angry, I'm very sad, I'm happy. So she knew all of this, and we are continue working on this. And with my friend, those who will be watching this video, with my partner, they know that feelings is really important. We can express ourselves. Then when we express ourselves, we are giving the opportunity to the other person to send us back the feedback, to send us back the message. Maybe we are angry about someone, and if he doesn't even know that we are angry about this against him. And when we express to him that this is something that is going on, then the person have the time to react before we could get mad. So when people start isolating themselves, when people start talking as is like scripted speeches, like something that they learn, and they're like pushing out, we should be careful about this. Probably they're already getting into trouble, and there's one group that already sent them thousands of books, and they are reading, because it's like this that they format their brain and bring them there. So we should be careful about these signs. We can have also some people that have like, they don't have willingness, or they don't habilitate themselves, for example, for certain discussion, for certain point of view, to accept certain point of view. You know, for example, you might be explaining them a situation, or you might be explaining them your point of view regarding a situation, and they're like always like distance. They're always like pushing you away. They don't want to listen to you. Like they're saying, no, this speech is not good. This speech is not good. So we should be careful about this. Sometimes some young people that were very nice to us, very nice to the society, they start becoming like unrespectful, disrespectful. They start having like some bad attitude toward other, like even beating some people in the street. So we should be caring about this. Sometimes we say that, yeah, this person is like this, and we leave it. But the person is not like this. If the person was respectful before, why this person is like this now? So, you know, and with all the situation, I told you about the causes. Like, imagine someone that could not find a job for 3, 4, 5 years. He will be becoming like angry about the world. He will increase like secretiveness, maybe, yeah, because you are working, you as his friend, you're working, he's not working, so he would start putting some distance between you and him. And probably at home, the kid is going to, or the teenager or the young person is going to start like avoiding even you to watch, to like look at his phone like this. He will start like putting himself like behind, checking phone, and having like some suspicious like view looks toward like checking if someone is not checking him. Yeah, all these, especially around internet use. And then those who are becoming like suddenly individualist, like they were thinking about the community, about the society, and suddenly they become like start being distant and everything just for themselves. People, like I told you before, stop communicating. Someone that was communicating before and then suddenly stop, like my friend in Cameroon. You know, I'm not saying that she will get radicalized, but all this situation might bring a vulnerable situation that bring people to be radicalized. And all this is because we are living in a very controversial society. And my advice as trainer, as youth leader, as father, as elder within the society, is to be very, very, very attentive. One, attentive. Look at it very well. Check very well the environment. Be concerned about people problem, about young problem. If you have a group of young people with who you are working, be concerned about this. If you're in a family with kids, be concerned about them. Check with them. Ask them if they are okay. Even you're forgetting things about, like me, or you have someone that can remind, that have good brain, or you write it down, some specific point. You have the phone, you can write it within the phone, and be checking about this person, how the person is, communicate with them, show them that you are there for them, and be empathic. Apply empathy, because it's really important that you show them that you understand that they are suffering and you would like to help them. And then when you go to them, they will be able to listen to you. Don't go to them to judge them. Don't judge. Don't go to them to punish them. Don't punish, never. Don't go to them like an instructor telling them, you should do this. No, giving them orders. No. Go to them, sit down at the same level with them, just speak with them. Tell them, I want to hear you. Tell me. At any time when you're ready, I will be here. I will always be here. I will be telling you this because adopted this strategy. I already saved like 3 people life. 3 people that are my brothers today. I will not share the story in this, maybe in a nearest future. We have to continue our session. So many stories matter. Stories have been used to dispossess and to make clean, but story can also be used to empower, to humanize. Story can break the dignity of a people, but story can also repair that broken dignity. This is quote from Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Is a Nigerian-born author. who were living or growing in United States. She's a Nigerian writer, and she was from a very, very stable family. But she was known as writing in 2014 like this, supporting the LGBT community, and she got a lot of problems, even a lot of problems with people that joined her company, her library, and later were publishing bad message against her just because she was publishing things to support LGBT. So it's very important that we know that story can be used to break our dignity, but the same or story still can be used to reestablish our dignity. It doesn't matter how this dignity was broken. What matters is how we stand up and what story do we stand up and say to our people. So then, our people, who do we consider as a vulnerable person? I would say everyone. I would say everyone because life might change from 100 to 0 or from 0 to 100. It's going so fast that we don't even realize that it's happening. And then when we open our eyes, it already happened. So everybody could be someone struggling with his sense of identity. Let us say people with the new age, there's a very common problem of identity among young people. And we as social educators or youth workers, we should be our leader, we should be aware about this. There's a very big problem of identity. This problem have been studied at university. Many young people doesn't know who they are, which gender they are. It is not because there is a problem, it's because the society is making it happen like this. And we as leader, as youth worker, we should emphasize also on understanding this and help them to find their way, not judging them, not telling them, no, you are a boy and you feel yourself as a girl, it's not good. No, don't tell this. Help them to understand who they are, because later they will tell you, thank you. Don't judge. Don't bring any judgment. Who are we to judge people? We are human. We have our own. We have our own weaknesses. So we should just be there to help people. We have people that probably are becoming like distant from their culture, from their religion background. I told you, some people that hear about this religion and abandoning everything that made them who they are. We should be able to detect all these people. Some people questioning about their place within the society. Imagine someone that is jobless or someone that got a break in the relationship. He start thinking, I've been 10 years with this boy, I've been 10 years with this woman, I've been 10 years in a relation, and now who I am, I have nobody because I don't have any family anymore. I have nobody, I don't have friends. So people questioning themselves are vulnerable. People with a lot of family issues like drugs abuse, alcoholism, broken relationship, broken marriages, these people also. People with mental issues, people with obesity. Obesity could lead to mental issue, or mental issue could lead to obesity. But still that these people having this kind of specific necessity are also subject to be radicalized. Radicalized in any kind of radicalism, you know. People also experiencing, for example, a traumatic event of their life, for example, non-acceptance, maybe by them about their sexual orientation, or not acceptance by the community about their sexual orientation, people living victim of bullying and so on. Also people victim of racism, sexual discrimination, race discrimination, political discrimination, economical discrimination, cultural discrimination, people with difficulty to interact socially. There are a lot of people like this, and lacking of empathy. Someone that cannot put himself in the other person's shoes is very, very, very probable that this person can be victims of radicalism. But just this is just part of things that can help us understand that everybody, because I told you, you can be okay today and tomorrow you will not be okay. The most important thing is to detect when someone is not okay and give the person these tools. Like in my family, my wife used to say, oh, today we are going bad because sometimes we have some tension. It's good to have people detecting. Sometimes I detect and we sit down and we speak about this and we solve the situation. Sometimes we could be 1 day, 2 days in tension because no one want to give up or no one want to slow down the tension. And then when we decide to slow it, we speak and we always solve this kind of problem. So before leading to misunderstanding, to difficulties, difficult relation, difficult situation that we might face in the society, we can be able to speak with other person because there's always a solution. If there's a problem, there's always a solution. And then another quote, from Laura Holloway, founder and chief of the Storyteller Agency. She said, story is our obligation to the next generation. If all we are doing is marketing, we are doing a disservice. We are not doing a service. And not only to our profession, but to our children and children of our children. Give something of meaning to our audience by inspiring, engaging, and educating them with story. Stop marketing and start true storytelling. You know, marketing companies, they use story to engage people to buy their product, to spend money. But we should change this. We should use, why can't we use as social educator, as youth worker, as youth leader, as adult, as parent, why can't we use story to why can't we use story, to motivate, to inspire? Yeah, this is the word I was looking, to inspire other. If big company are using this to make money, we as our social object or our objective is social, is human capital. Why can't we use story to empower our human capital? Because then we are sure that we are contributing to make the society better. Some advantage of storytelling. We will go fast. Storytelling can help develop an appreciation of the rest of the world and different culture. We already speak about this. Storytelling have been proven to help develop sense of empathy as youth are encouraged to put themselves in the position of the story protagonist, to consider the action and reaction and why they may have made them. So storytelling develop this empathy, this understanding of the situation of the other person. Engagement and empower. Storytelling can help us doing this, and especially of marginalized group, often in silence and invisible in the mainstream media or within the society. How many marginalized groups have been used by medias wrongly, using them when they want, and then the problem, they never solve it. They never contribute to solve it. They never do a real documentary to help marginalized people. But they just look at the spotlight and get some followers, and then the problem will stay and will continue. And we will come back to it the next time for the spotlight. Storytelling can help develop an appreciation of the rest of the world. Storytelling can allow people to experience different world, different countries, different tradition, different feelings. Reading or telling a story to children, for example, parents understand this very well, increase their willingness to express themselves and to communicate their talk, their feelings, their opinion. Who never tell a story or who never hear a story when she was kid, who never receive story requests from his kid or from younger brother when he was still young. We do, but at certain point of the time, we just waive it because we are concentrated on the movies, on the spotlight, on the TV, and sometimes we forget that we can sit down with our kid, we can sit down with our friend and talk true stories, speak about our life. What is going on? What do we need? How can we? What help do we need from them? How can they help us better? Maybe just to listen us. It helps simulate and stimulate creativity and help young people to explore more options when they are in front of a very difficult situation. Storytelling is the best way to learn. Stories are memory aids, instruction, manual, and moral compasses. Then, let's conclude speaking about storytelling and media literacy. You know, nowadays it's very easy. Before you needed a very big camera, a professional to record you, or you even need a professional writer to write your story. But today, nowadays, with all what is happening, like now, I don't need a professional to record the session. The quality is not that good, but I'm in front of you today with just my laptop, my camera, my phone, and a tool to record. And that's all. We can use this. We have a smartphone today, which is really, really easy for us to use to record, with a stick to use to record. We can buy a professional microphone like this, costing 5-10 euro, to record our story. We don't need that much, and we have, without advertisement, but we are using it. YouTube, which is where we can upload all our videos there and just share with our people within email, within social media, all other social medias, and so on. And we have also digital social medias like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal, and so on. Those social media that we can use in order to generate or to publish or to spread our story around the world. Something that is good is media literacy is no more like before. We don't need that much reading or studying to understand how technology works. We can have a young person around us, someone, our participant, who knows very well how to do it, and the person record, edit the video with some application, and then help us to publish it. So in that way, we can share our story using the media, but everybody is propense to use the media tools. We already know how to use a smartphone. So technically, we just need to know which application can we use, for example, to edit. We have a lot of free applications where we can use directly on our phone to edit our videos, to edit our audios, and then publish it. We have already, we are professional in publishing in social media. But to use this social media, we need, as an organizations, we need strategy, which could lead to another session. But as person, as leader, we don't need that much. We have our network, because everything starts from our network. As when we do crowdfunding, for people from outside to help us or to hear our message, we need people around us to be participating already to our network. So we start first in our direct network, could be our direct family, husband, wife, kids, could be parents, grandparents, could be also friend, could be friend from the gym, friend from the hiking, friend from the cycling, could be association, organization where we are doing volunteering, could be our job. So you see, only this network, this small network, we are reaching already maybe 100 or 200 people, and then we can ask them to do the same. If they can reach also 50 people with our message, just sharing, ask just people to not be sharing rubbish messages as we used to share online, just sharing what is good. If you check, for example, my Facebook Protetieno, you'll find that I used to share very relevant information to my community. Even people doesn't put like, they are watching you and they are following you. So we come to the end of our session. I hope you really enjoy it. Just stay connected into this website, because many things will be published there, and you can have other training sessions of my colleague in different topics that will help you to understand this project and the outcome of it, and then know how to involve and how to use them. If you have any difficulties of using any tools that we are putting into your hand, just feel free to contact us. You have the address of the website down there. Here you have the address of the website. Just enter there, fill the form, and then we will get closer to you, and then we will solve the situation. Take good care and remain positive.